is calling you.
Yes, the music is calling.
Hey, what's up? It's Marcus with Retro Game Players. Thanks for tuning in to this video. This was a pretty cool pickup day for me. I went down to the Portland Expo Center, and that's where they had the some kind of largest garage sale with like tons of vendors. And I actually went there pretty late in the day. I guess I got there about like 1:30, 2:30, something like that, and left right before 5 o'clock. And right away, as soon as I walked in, the first couple booths there were pretty expensive, and I kind of thought, uh-oh, this is a little iffy. I'm not sure if everybody here is going to be charging this kind of price for video games. But as I went, I started to see things that were pretty cheap, and of course, as the day went on, I was able to haggle a little bit more because these people didn't want to take their games home. I mean, as it was getting close to 5, they had huge Goodwill trucks pulling up, and they were, saying that people could fill it up. And I heard a bunch of vendors say, if you don't buy it, it's going to Goodwill. And so that was a different strategy than I'm used to, because usually I'm like the early bird at swap meets, and I pay a little bit more to get in, and feel like you have whatever first reigns. But the problem is that sometimes you do that and people are still setting up. And so anyway, there's a couple things that happened that were pretty cool. So the first one, though, the first little vendor that I went by, he had a bunch of Atari games priced at $1. And to me, I think that's a great deal because a lot of the Atari games are going for more than $1 each, and I think that a lot of people haven't realized that. So what I did was I just picked up some of the ones I am missing, or at least I think that I'm missing. And so basically what I did was, first one was Grand Prix, and so basically, put that down. It was like $1. Surround, that was $1. Firefighter, which that's pretty awesome. It's actually got a picture. It's pretty funny. It actually has a picture of a fire engine that looks like it's on fire. So that's not good. If the fire engine pulls up on fire, you're gonna have issues.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
This one, Food Fight. Or wait, no. Fast Food, sorry. Fast Food. That's just a Bizarro Land game there. Demons to Diamonds. So, yeah, it's crazy. A lot of these, I've heard of some of these, but like Demons to Diamonds, I've never heard of that one. This one is Atari's Disney's Sorcerer's Apprentice with Mickey on there. Space Jockey. So basically, there's 7 games here, and so that would have been $7. And then he had a Super Nintendo game that I didn't have, which is just this bowling game. It's Brunswick World Tournament Champions, and he wanted $2 for that. So anyway, came to $9. I think that's still a good deal, but what I did was I just said, hey, if I get all these, will you sell them to me for $7? So he agreed. So bam. That's what that was. So that was my first pickup right there, and that was cool. He gave me a plastic bag, which was nice, because I didn't bring a backpack or anything. And I'm saying that because I ended up with a pretty cool backpack, but I just had a plastic bag. So a little bit later, kind of walked around, and I saw a PlayStation that was $20 with like, 5 or 6 games and controllers and memory cards, and PlayStation 1. But one of the games there I hadn't heard of. And so I looked that up on eBay, and it was hard to find. It actually was pretty rare, and I couldn't find one on eBay with the case and the manual. I could just find like the disc and the manual. So I'll show you that in a second, because I went back and got that. But in between that, I didn't want to carry around, the PlayStation 1, and honestly, I parked really far away from where I was at the expo center. So I didn't want to go back to the car just yet and put all the stuff back in. So I figured I'll leave the PlayStation and just kind of walk around. I also have a couple of different PlayStations. Honestly, I want to like sell a few of them. So anyway, so I started walking around, and I came up to these cool guys. Let me see if I have their info here. I actually have a couple stores. Seaside's Stuff is what it's on Facebook. So they have a store in Seaside. I'm assuming it's called Seaside Stuff. And there's one here in Beaverton, I think, but I'm not sure if I have the info on that. But anyway, this guy was really cool. And so what it was is I went into this place, into his booth, and the first thing he said is, "Oh, you're looking for games?" He's like, "Man, you should have been here this morning. Where were you at 8 o'clock? We had tons of games. We had stuff in new in boxes." And one thing they did still have, by the way, was like a Sega Genesis in box. But I wasn't actually interested in that. I do have one of those. And anyway, so, you know, it was a flip side, because it was like, well, I could have got there at 8 and, you know, definitely got some of the more rare pickups or whatever. But on the flip side of that, I guess, is that, you know, I was able to score all this stuff. And so what it was is he had a bunch of DS games in boxes and some loose. And I just said, "How much are those?" And he said, "They're $6 each." Well, you know, normally that's not great, but it can be on par. But he goes, "Hey, if you want to buy them all, though, I'll hook you up." And so that's where, anytime someone says that, I'm kind of like, okay, well, you know, how much? What are you thinking, or whatever? So basically, what we agreed on was, as we started to look at them all, you know, he goes, "Make an offer," and I said $40, and he goes, "No," and I just said 50, and he goes, "Sure, $50." So that's what I got for these. So I'll just go through. I'll go through the ones actually that are loose first, because that seems a little easier to do. So got these little kind of crappy little case holder things, but anyway, so this one has 3 of them in it, and it's, oh god, the first one I can't even pronounce, but it's Bakugan, I think, and Raymond DS, and The Herbs, Sims in the City. So those are 3 that came right out. And then I think this is the other half. Oh, it's another Bakugan, Wipe Out the Game, and Disney's Stitch Jam. So there's another trilogy of awesomeness. I believe this thing somehow snaps together, but I don't know. There's that, and then here's another one. This one is just empty, so not that cool, but whatever. Here's a little case with a few different games. 2 of them. Namco Museum and Prince of Persia in the little tiny flip case thing. I don't think there's anything else in there. I think it holds 4, but there's only 2 games in there. This one holds 6, and there's 4. So we've got Guitar Hero on Tour, Style Savvy, End War, Tom Clancy's End War, and Spore Hero Arena. So got those. And actually, the Guitar Hero thing, he threw that in for me. I have no idea what this goofy thing is or how that hooks up, but it's some kind of a little mini Guitar Hero interface. I guess your hand goes on here somehow. I don't know how that latches on. I guess like that, maybe? Kind of funny. So anyway, that'll probably work with that game. I'll check that out. Another little group of games here. This one I don't have to open because they're all facing out. So another Bakugan. That must be a very common game. This is 3 now. Disney's Bolt, Night at the Museum, and then Tony Hawk's Proving Ground and Line Rider. So those are all the loose DS games. So that was, I don't know how many that was. That was quite a few though. Let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 loose right there. And then we'll go ahead and go through the boxed ones. So the first one, Garfield's Nightmare. go. Ugh, I don't even know if I'm going to check all these, but it's got the manual, which is cool. Garfield's Nightmare. Super Black Bass. It's a fishing game. Got the manual. Got Star Wars, The Clone Wars. Ugh, these things are a bitch to open. Yep, manual. Oh, here's Wipe Out the Game. So this is the actual one, and this is the got the manual too. So that show's pretty cool. Space Chimps. Boy, that sounds awful. That sounds awful. Hopefully it's pretty cool. Got the manual. Space Chimps. Madagascar Carts. And yep, got the manual. There's a lot of kids games. George of the Jungle. Manual. Call of Duty, there we go. World at War. Looks like there's some kind of manual in there. I don't know what. Yep. Actually a bunch of stuff. Got the manual, and then some other health and safety warning. Can't get it back in there, and then some other kind of pamphlet or something. But anyway, that's cool. Actually, I want to check that one out. G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra, and that's awesome. It's got the manual. It's got a lot of stuff in there. I don't know if there's like a poster or something. Crazy. Alright, definitely not a poster, just a bunch of crap. Alright, and then Scribble Knots Collection. 2-game combo pack. Oh, God. Barely opened that. Thing flew out of there. And is there a manual? Yes, it's a tiny little sleeve of a manual, but it's there. Ratatouille. Is that how you say that? Ratatouille? Some French spin on that. I have no idea. I saw the movie. Don't really remember it. Oh, come on. Ugh. God, these are like child-proof games. Child-proof. Oh, I don't really like this, but Deal or No Deal. Howie Mandel, I don't know. He's okay. I liked him on Bobby's World. I used to watch that. Oh, God damn. There must be some secret to opening these. So it's got the manual. Transformers Dark of the Moon. Yep, manual's in there. I'm assuming they all have the manual at this point. Fossil Fighters Champions. That one actually looks pretty cool. And there's no manual! Right after I said that. Screwed myself. I jinxed it. Phineas and Ferb Ride Again. Seems like I've seen that. It's a cartoon or something. I think the manual's in there. Yep. Actually, there is a poster. A goofy, tiny little poster. Look at that. I mean, that is a tiny... Is that even count as a poster, or is that a flyer? What is that? And Drawn to Life, SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh my God, there's a lot of kids games here, but that's alright. Still, they're pretty fun, you know, depending on the one. I mean, the SpongeBob series I've always thought was funny. I mean, basically, I don't know if the same artist came from Ren and Stimpy, but totally reminded me of Ren and Stimpy. So I've always thought that it was like one of the artists or the main artist, but I could be wrong. Walt Disney's Bolt. That looks stupid. Oh, God. Got the manual. It's funny that the only one so far that doesn't have the manual is the one that right after I said that they all have manuals. Simpsons, the game. And honestly, I'm excited about that. I love The Simpsons. Always have, always will. Love Simpsons. Basically anything. I actually have a bunch of their old action figures and stuff too. So, alright, so those are all the DS games that I got. So, you know, for 50 bucks, I think that's pretty good. And, you know, it's not like an insane deal or anything, but it's pretty good. Deal or no deal. All right, so that was one vendor, and if you're ever in Seaside, check out that store. It's pretty cool. All right, moving on. So here is that PlayStation. So remember, it was sitting there for 20 bucks, and so I went up to him and I asked him if it worked. They said they don't know, and that's not a good sign, but they said they thought it did. So I said, all right, well, they're like, we'll make an offer. So I said 12 bucks, and they accepted. So that's what we're looking at. So PlayStation 1, you guys have seen what those look like, but it came with multiple controllers. So old style controllers. Looks like one DualShock. Let me see here. 2 DualShock, actually. But this one's pretty gross. This one looks nasty. I'm not even gonna play with that one. Wii Power Brick. So that's not supposed to be in there. A couple memory cards. So that's cool. Let's see if there's a disc in here. Nope, no disc. It's cool though. It's the older model, which I like a lot. It's got the connectors. You can hook up an action replay over here, which lets you do a lot of cool stuff to the games, including play imports and backups. If you want to do that, you can do that with an action replay. You basically pop this open, put a little spring that holds the button down right here. It usually comes with a spring, and anyway, that's kind of cool. You know, I'll show you that actually. Okay, so this is the Action Replay, Pro Action Replay. I purchased this quite a long time ago. I've had it for a long time, so it didn't come from this lot, but since we're talking about it, this is how this works. It comes with a little spring, and that spring, you just put it in between the door and this little button over here, and it holds the button down that makes the PlayStation think that the lid is closed. So it always thinks it's closed. And then this part right here, which you just take and you just plug it into the back right here, like that. And so now this thing would be ready to play imports and backups, and also codes. So a lot of codes will work for the games and stuff. But anyway, the old PlayStations have that advantage, because I think the other ones, they took that port off, and some of these other ports are gone too. They simplified it, basically. So the games that came are Need for Speed High Stakes, and you know, the CD looks good. Disc looks great, actually. So I checked all the discs as well. Rallycross, and again, disc looks good. This one is some stupid sampler pack. I hate these things. Hate them. Interactive CD, whatever. I already have this Namco Museum, so I'll be selling that somehow, somewhere, some place, some way. Need for Speed 2, which I played this a lot actually on PC back in the day when it came out, and really enjoyed it. I played that a lot. And then of course Gran Turismo 2, and something just feels so light with this game. I think it's because the book is missing, because this usually has a big book, and I do have this game too. But anyway, yeah, disc 1 and disc 2 are in like perfect shape. I mean, everything is literally mint. So those are the games, and then this is the one that I had never seen, and it's called Spider. And yeah, I saw this and I was like, what is that? And it reminded me of a game on the Wii called Dangerous Creatures, which is pretty cool, where you play like a scorpion and also a tarantula, and you just kind of run through different environments, and it's pretty awesome. But I don't know what this is about. It's got a picture of a pretty freaky spider, and then like a knife right there, and then the back, you know, looks pretty cool. It says the mind of a genius, the body of a spider. And yeah, so I don't know, I'm stoked on this one. This is, yeah, and it came with this weird little poster, which again, I don't know if these count as a poster or a flyer, but it says boss on the back, and then yeah, spider here. And I've never seen this, It's got the manual. Disc is in great shape. So, yeah, I've never seen this game, and this was honestly the motivating factor for the whole deal, just because it looked to be somewhat rare. So, anyway, so $12 for all those games, the 3 controllers, the old school PlayStation, and 2 memory cards, and a Wii Power Brick, which is kind of funny. So, at this point, all this I was carrying around in a big box, and it was getting pretty heavy, and so ended up taking it to the car and coming back empty-handed with round 2, because this flea market thing was taking up 2 of the kind of the old school expo center rooms, not the newer ones, so it's kind of off to the side, but 2 big halls, so it was a lot. So I got all that in one hall, and then this next stuff actually I just got from the other hall, and I wasn't trying to spend a lot of money at this point. I was actually trying to slow it down because I thought I did pretty good. So the first thing that I got, well, I'll just go ahead and go through the games. So basically, I found this guy. This is the last deal that I did, but it was just a guy who had a bunch of Sega Genesis games. He had a bunch of Atari games, bunch of Super Nintendo and N64 games, and so I just started looking through it and just picked out games that I was pretty sure I don't have, and I asked him if he was down to bundle, and he said yes. So I've got NBA Jam 32X, and I'm actually really excited about this just because it came in the box. And the other thing that's kind of weird about this is it's actually in the plastic case, and I'm pretty sure I don't have any 32X games in a hard Genesis style case like this. Most of my 32X games are cardboard and they suck and they fall apart. But anyway, I've always liked NBA Jam, and I will definitely play that on the 32X, so that's awesome. This is one of my favorite games here, Total Carnage. I actually have a poster over there, and that's bigger than a flyer, but I've got that poster. I used to play this game a lot when I was a kid. It's a lot like Smash TV, Robotron or something, except newer, and it's pretty awesome. Going to these Atari games I picked up, he had these priced at $1 each. So Outlaw, I think I have that. I'm not sure though, that's why I got it. Street Racer, I know I have this, but I don't know if I have this version with the multi-cart, because there's multiple games on there, multiple play versions, I guess. This one is kind of interesting, Adventure. I love that, just so generic. I mean, Adventure. But anyway, got that one. Circus Atari, didn't have that one. And these are in really good shape too. Those are actually in awesome shape. Word Zapper, don't have that one. Ghouls and Ghosts, I had that one, but and he has it priced at $15, which is but basically after bundling I knew I was going to get it down. So Stormlord, I don't have that one, and that's an old I think it's an EA game, or what is it? Oh, it's Razorsoft, that's right. So Razorsoft made a bunch of really weird games on Genesis, including like Death Duel and some other ones, but they had blood, and they were kind of more mature. So I don't know about Stormlord. I can't remember if I've played that, but Razorsoft is pretty cool. Summer Games, that sounds awesome. Not really. Oink, that's about a pig, I guess. It's actually got a picture of a pig on the game cart, and it actually looks like it has some pretty good graphics for Atari. Dodge 'em, I think I might have that one. Space Combat, I think I might have that one. But again, for $1 each, and honestly, like I said, that's how much he had them priced at. I just thought, hey, Telegames, this is Tank Plus. Pretty sure I got that one too. Brain Games. And so the other reason I get these is because I have a couple Atari systems that I usually like fix up, and then I'll sell them on eBay or whatever, and I like to bundle games with them. So that's usually why I try and get extra games. LHX Attack Helicopter, that's an EA game. Keystone Capers on Atari, and yeah, I didn't have that one. Casino on Atari. I might have that one. Target Fun. Surround. Actually, it says 41 Surround. Decathlon. Ball on Genesis. That's kind of a crappy game. He had that priced at $1. And Hangman Spelling game. That sounds really awesome. Can't wait to play that. Forgotten Worlds. I like this game a lot. It's really weird and it's hard to control because you have to hit like A and C, I think, on the Genesis controller to rotate your guy the way he shoots, but it's pretty fun. Slot Machine on Atari and The Revenge of Shinobi. So there you go. And so for all those games, that was all basically $50, $55 actually, because when he added them up, it came to like $90 or something, and I offered 50, I think, and then he said 60, and then I went up to 55. So 55 for all those, and you know, I think that's kind of fine. The Atari games, since they're priced at $1, there's like 20 of them, so it really came down to the better titles like Shinobi or and Ghosts and Goblins as well. But anyway, still pretty cool. And then the final pickup items that I got was 2 different bags, and this is the first one. Oh, get out of there. And it's a original PlayStation style kind of bag, which will hold the console and you can carry it around with you. I don't think there's anything in here. This is actually in really nice shape. So this one's in super good condition. I don't think it's very rare, but it's still pretty cool. So there's the PlayStation bag. And then this one is just totally weird and I think much more rare, and it's a Nintendo Tetris Attack backpack. So it's actually like a kid's backpack. I tried to wear this and put it on, and I could not get it around both of my arms. I can only get one arm in there. So anyway, all in all, it's a pretty good score, and I'm definitely happy with it. So there you go. So that's the garage sale. The other thing that sucks about that place, though, the expo, is that parking is like $8, and then admission was like another $5. So by the time you pay that, you know, you walk in there and you kind of think, man, I have to get something. I have to get something to make this worthwhile. You don't have to, but you know, you just kind of feel that pressure. At least I do. I'm like, oh God, all right. So now I'm invested, you know. But anyway, thanks for tuning into this pickup video, and until next time, keep it retro. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this, and you know, thanks for subscribing. Peace out.